morning, everyone. Welcome to Bid Nerd, your daily nerd out on the most interesting car of the day from all the automotive enthusiast auction sites. My name is John Polnik. We're recording from the Container Park in downtown Las Vegas, along with my partner in his studio over there in San Francisco. We have a third nerd today. What do you think of that, Deeb?
Woo! Finally, somebody wants to be on the show besides me.
Oh my gosh,
Skelton!
look at that. Look who it is, Lane Skelton. Hot damn. Lane, what are you doing here, man? Why would you slum with a couple of losers like the nerds?
Man. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I like you guys. You guys are good guys, and you guys need a little help sometimes. So I'm here to help.
JP, is today a bank holiday? Like, how come Lane Skelton has a day off? I just found out he's got a real day job. What's he doing? What's he doing here with us?
I am taking a little break. But yeah, I am working today.
Wow, look at that. All right.
Thanks for taking a long lunch with us.
Yeah.
All right, guys, what do we do on this show? We find the most interesting car of the day from Bring a Trailer, Cars and Bids, Marked, whatever auction site we happen to be digging through at the moment. We find that most interesting car. We have a conversation about it. We make a prediction as to what we think will happen at that car's auction's end. We make that prediction, and then, boom, we go in the future, and we reveal what happens with that particular auction. So at the end of the show, you will actually see what this car actually sold for. At the time of recording, the car has not closed its auction. So you can play along in the comments below. You can put your bid in down below, see if you're better than the nerds. Let's get to the car. Michael Deeb, what is the most interesting car of the day today?
Ooh. JP, this might even, this car should win an award for maybe being the most interesting car of the week. I picked this one for you, buddy. 1983 Porsche 911 SC Safari style. Offered to us on Bring a Trailer out of Westwood, Massachusetts. The car has about 135,000 miles. I did not get a reveal as to how many miles have been put on the car since the build was completed. But I am going to put my head down and just read through some of the things that highlight what went into this build. It's essentially a who's who of the secondary market thrown at this. So it's Mahle high compression pistons and cylinders. It's Carrera tensioners. It's got a 5-speed manual with a Weevo 915 torques. It got the Wave Truck limited slip differential. It's got basically the TRA Motorsport rally lamp pod, so the whole light bar and all that nonsense. Elephant Racing did the suspension. Elephant Racing now offers a Safari package for most of the platforms, and that's what's on this car. That's all quality stuff. And then, of course, the ducktail spoiler, got a pretty color. And then this thing that JP, remember when we looked at that hard top for a D-body in the catalog, the car in the catalog had phone dial wheels on a 911. That's what this car has, 15-inch phone dial wheels with some knobby tires and some mud flaps. This thing is cool. All Carbone, our buddy out of Poland that made all the really great decals and swag and some really cool accessories. Carbone did the wood slatted roof rack, which I bet Lane Skelton is going to love. So anyways, AP, I think this car looks like it's really nicely done. It's a little bit subtle in sort of that gray color. But I bet this is a really fun driver, and it's got all the goodies on it. Take a look at this. I was just kind of impressed with it, and I thought this car might do really well since it's on BAT. So I send it maybe to Lane first and ask you, Lane, have you ever won a Safari car? Has any of your buddies in the Radward, area with the WA and all that circle of friends, anybody ever let you drive a Safari car with jacked up suspension, particularly a 911? But I'd be down to drive a 924 like this. I'm starting to get the bug, man. I don't know, man. They're really starting to get me. So have you driven one? Would you want one?
Yeah. I don't think I'd want one. I have. They're cool, but I don't think I'd want one for myself. I have driven one. A friend of mine, co-founder of Radwood, with Rick, actually built one with Ryan Turry out of San Francisco.
Oh, cool.
So they built it was an 89 anniversary car.
Oh, sweet.
And they built that up into a Safari, and I got to drive that a little. I had the same, BFGs on it, it would get sideways really easy because like, no grip on those tires. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really fun, cool, and you could go anywhere and stuff. And it was fun just going like 20 miles an hour, getting the tail end out and stuff. So yeah, that's a cool thing.
JP,
I love Safaris. I love the idea. This car, actually, a lot of times when we see the Safari builds, like, Kelly Moss comes out with these just unbelievable, almost singer-like type things that are just bespoke and perfect. And you're like, well, who's going to take that in the mud? This car is not perfect. This car has bumps and bruises, and, the dashboard has some weird cracks, and they literally cut out the front fender to give more, front wheel clearance, probably for turning when they got to fully compress that front suspension.
Almost all of them do that.
Yeah, well, usually they do, but they usually kind of cover it with some kind, like they'll have trim over the cut. And I'll see if I can get back to this picture. This just looks like they took the Sawzall to it and went nuts. Same thing with the, they've got a carbon fiber air box, and they cut a hole in it because they put a different air. I don't know. I just think that this car, as maybe a little messy as it is exactly what you want to do, exactly what this car was built for. What the hell? Why are we making these super pretty off-road vehicles when you don't want to get that, the pinstriping down the side? And when I say pinstriping, anyone who off-roads knows what I'm talking about. You drag your car next to a tree or a rock, and now you have a new pinstripe that you didn't exactly plan on. This car, I don't think you're going to really care so much. So I don't know. I'm pretty interested in seeing what happens with this thing. Deeb, I think you need one of these in the Bay Area. You guys with those bumpy, rocky, terrible roads. Man.
Lane can appreciate this because Santa Cruz be congested too. But this is the type of car, Lane, where you see a parking space, you would drive the car over the center median and park the other side of the street. You wouldn't go down to the light and make a U-turn only to have somebody stag at one car before you. Like, this is a car I would roll up and down curbs. Like, I would drive this car like the asshole that I am. So anyways, I really like this car. I agree, JP. I like that they just took sort of a old C and gave it new life and new purpose, and that they didn't go and restore the car. And like I said, I was just kind of impressed. They seem to select some premium products with some name brand stuff. I think this really is a good car. So with all of that in mind, our car closes later this week. It's currently sitting on Bring a Trailer, JP, at $60,000, but on only 4 bids. So I will start the bidding and say that I think this car has a chance to bring $120,000, but I'm not confident. And for all the reasons, John, that you covered over the weekend, please tell us the name of your guest that was on the show earlier.
Our special episode, Clint Russell joined us over the weekend. Yeah.
When you guys really talked about the market in whole, and to do that premise, you kind of took a step back and talked about the financial market in a whole, and then sort of trickled down on what that's doing to the car world, or what it could still do to the car world. This car could be a prime victim of this softening of the market, and eventually all this stuff is due. This car could absolutely fall on its face. But if somebody goes for it, if 2 people want it, I see $120,000 in this seller's future, possibly. But I'm not confident in my bid. So, Lane, let me give it to you next. What do you think this car's worth? What do you think this car will sell at?
Oh, man, we're way off here. I think it's a $79,000 car.
That's a great bid.
I think it'll go for $79,000. And I think it'll probably sell. I don't think the guy has a lot of money in like hardware, but like you said, he didn't restore it, which is cool for this. Like, why do you want a perfect paint car? Mm-hmm. It looks like original, maybe ish paint.
Yeah.
I think if you look at them historically, I don't see a lot of Safaris. It looks like a Lee Keen car or something going for crazy money.
Right.
So I think a new car like this. That haven't been restored yet. You're looking 70 somewhere, but I'm gonna place my bid at $79,000.
All right, I'll leave it, Lane. Thank you.
Yeah, we've talked about some other cars last week that look blue chip air cooled 911s that are mostly stock. will hold their value pretty well. You start getting goofy hot rods, you start doing safari stuff. I think the safari thing is still pretty strong right now. I think we're coming into the right time of year. If this is the kind of, in a lot of places you got to put your 911 away here in the next few weeks. This is the kind of 911 that you take out when the weather gets crappy, and so maybe that helps it a little bit. But I think really nice safaris are going. We've seen them soften already and barely breaking 100, 120. We've seen a few of them, like that Targa 964 didn't even break $120 a few weeks ago. I'm going to say 72. I don't think it gets up there. It's just not nice enough. I mean, as an SC, how much is this SC? If this were a stock SC, with no safari stuff, how much is this car worth? It's worth about $60,000 right now, at best.
Yeah, maybe a little more. Yeah, maybe a little more. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, how many miles?
135,000. Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
That's
$60,000 for an SC.
Yeah.
I think that's about tops, man. Especially with what's mostly considered a boring color. I think this color looks great on a Safari, and especially with those Fondi wheels that are kind of like have that anodized kind of, not really a brushed aluminum, but just kind of like a weathered aluminum. It almost looks like they're like a titanium, even though they're not.
JP, from an aesthetic standpoint, do you think this guy should have put smaller Pegasuses on the car?
I am fine with the size of the Pegasus. I think that they should be the correct angle, though. They are the absolutely wrong angle. The horsey's head, you get the wings. The top wing should be flat, which puts the horsey's head sticking up just a little bit. It's wrong angle. Anyways. Wow. Talk to Ben to the professor. He'll tell you what the correct way to apply the horsies.
I'm anti-Pegasus.
Well, guys, what do you think? Is this? $60,000. Do you think this car has a long way to go? Is it going to climb the mountain, as it were? It certainly is capable of doing so. Or is it pretty much reached the plateau? Let us know in the comments right now. It is time for you to plug in your bids, and we will tell you what this car sells for right after this. Hey guys, I'm super excited to tell you about our sponsor, Guys Customs. That's Guys, GYX_Customs. That's how you spell it. Guys Customs bracelets. These things are amazing. Check them out. They're handmade in America, custom bracelets made to match your watch or your car. These things are unbelievable. I have 3 or 4 of them myself. My partner Michael Deeb has a bunch of them. They're pretty addictive once you get one. Each one of them are bespoke. We're talking carbon fiber. We're talking titanium. We're talking stainless steel, glass. There's none of this cheap Chinese garbage that you see a lot of bracelets being made out there. These ones are super high quality. They're made right here in America. When you go to Guys Customs on Instagram, it's about the only place that you can order one of these. When you DM the artist, you're actually reaching the real artist when you DM Guys Customs at Instagram. And she will make you a bracelet made to match that special watch, that special car, or that special person that has a special watch or a special car and they want something really, really cool in their life. They make the most amazing gifts. I get compliments on mine all the time. Everywhere I go, people are like, wow, that's really cool. You can see in the pictures, these beads, the colored beads are PTS. They're paint to sample. So if you have a specific color code for your car, she'll have beads made that are specifically painted to match your car or your watch. It's unbelievable. You got to get one of these Guys Customs bracelets. Check them out. They support us, and we really, really, really want to support them. Guys Customs bracelets. All right, let's get back to the bids. Let's find out how much that car sold for today. All right, guys, welcome to the future. Thanks for hanging out on the Bid Nerd, your daily nerd on the most interesting car of the day from all the automotive enthusiast auction sites. We lost Lane Skelton from DWA here in the future. He does not have a DeLorean that travels into the future, so he couldn't join us for this for the back half. But we will make sure that we remind all of you guys of his bid as well on this dandy little Safari 911. Michael Deeb, quick rundown on what this car was, and let's go ahead and get to the predictions. Were we right? Were we wrong? How'd we do on this one?
Yeah, welcome back from our commercial break. We're still talking about this 83 SC Safari. And JP, I'm like embarrassed that you can't really see it, but like I'm blushing because I got this one.
Let's zoom in on you. Let's zoom in on you. Let's get a close up on that.
I'm all red cheeked. I went way out of bounds on this car. I thought, some of these builds bring really big money, and the red mist overcame me, and so I went way over. I said $120,000. Our guest, Lane Skelton, who obviously doesn't know anything about cars, said $79,000. And you, the pragmatic one, Yoda of
the bear.
Nerds.
That's what I am. I'm just a bear.
Yeah, bear hanging out at the bar at the Blue Oyster.
Right, that kind of bear, exactly.
$72,000. Our car sold $83,500 on a very respectable 34 bids on Bring a Trailer. Now, a couple things to notice. One, you were way closer than me, so you won that one. But Lane Skelton, who doesn't know anything about cars, remember, we covered that. He was actually closer than both of us, so we should really chalk that up to a Lane Skelton. Send him a Bid Nerds snapback and a Speedo.
Yeah.
And tell him good job on that one. But I obviously I don't really fully understand the value in some of these cars and the builds. You guys saw this better than I did. And again, it wasn't a great car. It was just like somebody took one and then sort of repurposed it. They didn't do like a full build like those guys up in Wisconsin. But JP, when you look at a car like this SC, is that a car you'd want to own?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, of all of the Safaris that we have been seeing popping up over the years, honestly, this is the one I'd want most because this is the one I feel like I could actually use it for the purpose that it was built. I don't know if I would necessarily agree with you. Look, I know what you're saying when you say this car wasn't fully built like some of the other ones. I mean, they really did the right stuff. I mean, it wasn't. It's just not necessarily bespoke, and it also looks like it's been used a bit. I mean, they didn't go through and put in $30,000 riveted Singer seats and stuff like that. Car and the seats are actually one thing that I wish they had actually done. Not necessarily make them bespoke and like awesome looking, but I feel like if you're going to get if you're going to build a Safari car, you need some seats that are kind of purpose built for that, and that's one thing that just kind of like left totally stock. But no, I mean this car, absolutely, I want this car more than one of these like. Our friends at Kelly Moss in Wisconsin are known to make, the really, really nice ones. But they're cars that you don't want to get dirty. Are you kidding?
No.
They're show Safaris. This one, I would be happy to take this back to my hometown up in Monroe, Washington, Snohomish out there, hit some old dirt roads, go through puddles, let the tree branches scrape down the side. It would be so much fun with my old buddy Zach. If you're watching, he would be in his Vanagon Synchro that he put a big huge engine in and jacked up and everything. This would be the perfect pair. In fact, they're the same color, which is that much more rad. So that would be just a good time, or at least pretty close colors. So yeah. The answer to your question, I absolutely would love to own this car. And at that price, I mean, I still think 80,000. What was it? 82,000.
83,500.
That just still seems really, really strong for this car. My bid. I wasn't just being bearish. I really think that. I mean. Sometimes we talk about like backdate cars or cars that, wide body RSR kits and stuff like that. And, cars that would cost a lot of money to build. And we've seen the prices of cars like that really take a hit in value over the last few months. The blue chip, untouched, maybe a little used regular old Porsches that remain pretty much stock. Those are holding their value way better than the ones that are like these big crazy hot rods.
Yeah.
But this car wouldn't cost that much to build. I mean, it really wouldn't. You're talking to some suspension bits, some wheels. So if you had, because this Targa, or not Targa, but this 911, you're talking an 80s SC or something like that. You could get an 80s SC in this condition, in this colorway for somewhere around $50,000 pretty easily.
Right.
And you spend, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 on the off-road bits, and you're there. You're totally there. So I think $80,000 is way, way over what the person should have bought this for. But I guess at the same time, whoever buys this thing doesn't have to deal with going through and building all this stuff. So there's something to be said for that.
And you can have it right now instead of gathering all those parts and then waiting for your mechanic, 6 months delays and get your car back next year.
Yeah. Let's get in that microphone there, Michael Deeb. Sorry, guys, our audio problems persist.
Oh, that's me. My basement is so quiet and sexy. Oh, my God.
It looks like it's cold in there. You got your big flannel on.
Yeah. Freezing out here. Yeah, it's actually sunny, but it's just really cold. So I feel like I'm coming live for a walk in the refrigerator.
Yeah. Well, I will say that things have cooled off here in Las Vegas. So if you're coming out to Vegas for SEMA, it's bring a jacket. Summer is over. It's going to be a lot warmer than probably where you're from, but it definitely has cooled off. All right, guys. Well, there it is. I guess we're going to end the show. We'll see you tomorrow.
Wah, wah, wah.